again, although she may not be able to be seen. And you probably hear her now, but it's almost midnight, and being the Midnight Bandit, I'm here to steal a little bit of your time. I think I'm going to do this more often, almost as if it's some kind of a online journal. I'm keeping these videos, documenting my life, my thoughts, and hopefully some of it resonates with people out there. Even if it resonates, with someone, but does it in a manner where it's like genuine. I guess that's all that really matters, right? I never bought that before. I never thought like, okay, if this video doesn't reach like, a certain amount of people, one, I'm not getting paid, but two, it's just, I guess the value of it isn't as much. But like, seriously, helping someone out of the state of like suffering in which, it seems like no one has opened their eyes to what's going on. I mean, that's well worth it. I mean, I always think like, what do I want to put out into the world? What do I want to give to the world? And I thought about it a lot. I think about it often, although for the majority of my life, it's like I was constantly clogged up with trying to, I guess, trying to prove myself to people who never were going to see me for my value in the first place. And yeah, I guess this is kind of an extension, or it was going to be for a second there, an extension of what I made previously to this video today. But you know what? At this point, I've just got to be grateful. When I look down at, like, my cat is basically hugging me and clawing at me, kind of hugging me with her, just lying on my chest. And I gotta think, like, I mean, tomorrow, I suppose it's a sad day because I have to rehome my cat. She's a barn cat and she hasn't been really, uh, potty trained. And also, I'm not very good at taking care of animals. I thought I'd be okay, but turns out I'm not. And that makes sense, right? Being that I have, I guess, as far as I'm concerned, schizoaffective disorder, bipolar type. I mean, I probably wasn't the best person to take care of a cat in the first place, because a lot of the time I'm so bogged down with all the issues in my head that, and ADHD, so, which seems like it would be just kind of a slight add-on to that, but believe me, it's resounding challenge in my life, this ADHD, and a lot of people, they act as if it doesn't do anything, like it's just like a common cold, even if you had to, you could work through it. So anyways, but I'm not here to be resentful or like not accept that not everyone has to have all of the information, not everyone has to understand me or understand my challenges. But like now, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, everything opened up for me. Immediately, I was like, how can I add value to people's lives? I was so self-absorbed before because of this like cloud of voices and judgment and stuff that it never mattered. And now that I don't have that in my life, I'm thinking about things like, what are my friends, what are the things that they value? What are the things that they like? And I want to meet them where that is. I want to meet them there. What the things that bring out the best in my friends, the things that bring out the best in anyone, right? I think by virtue of like being too self-contained, self-concerned, whether it's just me or if it's a lot of people, we don't get to have a real curiosity in what our friends really love and what they're interested in. And now that's kind of being apparent to me. It's becoming apparent to me. It's becoming something where I could engage with it. Oh, sorry, buddy. I could engage with it because I want to support my friends. And I think that's a good place to be, because I want to be like, I want to be someone who cares about other people. And even though that's probably not cool to do, if I'm the most uncool person because I care about, I guess, other people, and I wanna be like a decent person in this world, I can, whatever. Absolutely, I'll double down on it. Even I'll be the most uncool person you've ever met. But is it really that way? I doubt it. You know, a lot of propaganda in this world. Like, let's be honest. Let's face it. A lot of propaganda in this world will try to distance you from other people. Will try to put you into solitude. Try to isolate you. Say that most people won't understand you. Most people won't get you. Most people will hate you. Everyone's coming up with narratives about how like you deserve to be alone or something. I don't know. I'm totally done with that stuff. Now it's just time for me to get out there. Uh, After a long hiatus, a long kind of seclusion, it's time for me to get out there and just be myself and just kind of, yeah, I don't know. So it's just kind of, at a certain point, you have to say to yourself, even though the systems around us, even though the world around us wants to uh, make us feel like we have to provide, I don't know, a certain quantity of capital or something, some money or like achievement or amount of friends or like whatever it is to provide value for ourselves and worth and status in the eyes of others. It's like, no, you know what? As much as you think the status is going to get you more friends, the friends and the quality of your status isn't going to guarantee you the friends or relationships or people around you that you feel or that will be helpful for you. It's really random. Like, you could be the richest person, you could be the most popular person, but if those people don't resonate with you, then you may feel alone, right? I think people. I'm not trying to sell you the wrong advice. We're saying like, if you have the intention to like meet people halfway, to really show interest in their lives, to tolerate them and their flaws and their inconsistencies and their irrationalities to the point where we're not trying to like optimize our friend circle, right? We're trying to lift people up. And if people are struggling, we're not trying to optimize our friend circle. We're not trying to like snip, cut out people like they're kind of like, I don't know, dead branches on a tree that we're trying to trim. As much as like some people are the type of person who it would be good to kind of like distance yourself emotionally from, at the same time, our friend circle is not like, it's much more human, much more wild and varied, and dependent on random circumstances and pain and suffering. And some days people aren't the way they usually are. People change. People go through things, and I feel like it's up to us to be the person, be the hub, or like the citadel. I don't know, the monolith in which people want to be around. It's hard to do that when you're doubting yourself, when you think that toxic people have something that you don't. They know something about you that you don't. They think that they're the number one authority on you, even though they don't know even a fraction of what you already feel intuitively about yourself. And that's because they're just spoiled kids with magnifying glasses trying to burn the whole world with death rays, sun reflection death rays. Yeah, whatever. I'm not bound by the words of cowards anymore. I feel like for the first time in my life, I've actually reached a point where I don't bounce things off of social, I guess, social validation. I'm on YouTube, but I'm just hoping that someone looks into my eyes and sees this and thinks like, oh, like, not that I'm impervious to this stuff, but it's like I was there, and hopefully I'm at a point where I can actually provide the advice that will get you to where I'm at. If you happen to be in the thick of it, in the weeds of having this like this cloud of negativity or voices or whatever it is, this invisible like signal of haunted ghost logic trying to steal value from your soul. Yeah, it's not possible, first of all, but it will send you on like the worst fucking trip of your life if you give weight to toxic people's words, because they're waiting for someone to just look at them like they actually exist and they actually mean something, just so that they can like vampire suck the essence out of them, you know? Especially when that person, as much as you see value in them, you're not gonna like obey them like some kind of like slave master situation. So I don't know. It's kind of a, it's a situation where I feel like I've been dealing with this forever, but this is the first day I step out into the light. Coincidentally, it's when the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne, passed on into the next life. He was one of my favorite people of all time. I wrote this huge, long document about how much I appreciated having someone like that in the world, and how I think that that it shows a lot about human honesty and decency and what we're capable of. It's beautiful, just incredible. And there's so many people out there like Ozzy, simply because he was in the limelight, that he had the status about him, doesn't mean that there's so many people in your life right now that have that same kind of essence within them. And really, you never know when people pass away, so it's good to cherish them and value your relationships. So the ones that like the people who are trying their hardest and people who aren't, just fueled by the lack of acceptance. If this all makes sense to you, this all jives with you, whether or not this goes out to 9 people in the video, or it goes out to 300 billion. There's not 300 billion people on this planet, or even in like probably in even combined like a few planets around this freaking galaxy. I don't know. Anyhow, it's late, and if this resonates, just do all the YouTube. Like, I'm gonna tell you to do all the YouTube stuff. Hit the bell notification, subscribe, thumbs up the video. I think what they need to do is they need to add more things so that we have an even longer spiel, keep people engaged for even longer. Pull down the pulley, switch up the levers, change all the colors to one solid color. All those things that you have to do every time. So we have to like do a whole more song and dance routine every time we make a video. That would be great, right? The whole rigmarole. Anyways, stay frosty.